Object-oriented programming is probably the most popular programming paradigm currently, and as someone who came from a background of C# and Java, my big gripe with existing Roblox tutorials was that when I was learning Lua, they treated me as if I'd never written a program in my entire life. It makes sense, as Roblox is quite often the first time many younger people come across programming, but for me, and I assume also for you if you clicked on this video, that is not the case. This tutorial is here to translate all of your OOP knowledge into Luau. Unfortunately, Luau does not have native classes, but it does emulate them quite well using tables. So we're going to start off with a simple table, just local animal we're going to use, and equals the empty table to start off with. That is your class definition, that's it. And as you may know, tables are pretty much Lua's version of any data structure. You can put functions in there, you can put normal values in there, you can do anything with them. Now, unlike regular OOP, we define our constructor by adding a function called new to our class's table. So we just do function and then animal.new. And inside this function we define a new table called self. So similar to the way we did before, local self equals empty table. And then of course, as this is a constructor, we're going to return self. And that is the end of that. So this table self is returned by our constructor, and that represents an instance of our animal class. So when we call the new function, it returns self. Now, just like an OOP language, we can add parameters and set their values for our instance table self inside the constructor. The only difference is they don't need to be defined already. So I can just put whatever I want in here. I can say, I know, self.name equals name. And then we just need to add the parameter up here. So obviously name. And I'm going to do sound as well. Self.sound equals sound. And finally, we'll do self.isAlive. And it starts off as true. So obviously, already this is starting to look like a normal constructor of for example, a C# class. Now the first part in which this really starts to deviate from OOP is when we define new methods for our class animal. You notice earlier when we used a dot here, well actually for this we're going to use a colon. So I'm going to have a function called animal speak, for example, and we're going to use a colon here like that. Now the difference is when you use a colon, self is passed into the function automatically, whereas when you use a dot, it's not. That means that inside our speak method here, we can use self implicitly. We don't have to define it like that, and we don't have to pass it in as a parameter. You can think of dot methods as being static and colon methods as being instants. But of course, like most things in Lua, this is a convention, not a rule. The self thing is actually the only difference between the two. The dot method is not actually static, but if you treat it like it is, then you will have no issues at all. Now I'm just going to define just a little thing for this thing to do. And as you can see in there, we have used self implicitly because this is a colon. So now this looks like it should work. If we do local cat equals animal new cat, and then the sound it makes, and then we just call animal speak, so it would be cat speak, you would think that that was work. But actually this will throw an error, because as we can see here, this method that we defined belongs to the animal table, not the cat table. There is no link between our cat table and our animal method. This is where metatables come into it. A metatable is a table that you attach to another table that Lua checks whenever certain operations happen, and the entries inside it define what to do in those situations. And that'll make more sense when I explain this. So inside our constructor, before we return self, we need to make sure that animal is its metatable. And that just means when we call speak, we can point Roblox towards our animal table to figure out what to do. Simply just call set metatable, with the first parameter being self, and the second parameter being the table which you want to be the metatable, which is animal. So how this works is, when we call speak, Roblox first checks to see if our cat table has a function called speak, which of course it doesn't. And after the initial check failed, it has to fall back to this, the dunder index. This is a table or function that Luau falls back to if the initial check for the method failed. We need to make sure that once we establish that our cat table doesn't have a speak method, that it's then the animal table that we check for the method. That means all we have to do after our animal table is defined is to set animal.dunderIndex equals animal. So to summarise overall, our metatable animal tells Lua what to do when it can't find the speak method on our cat table, and setting the index of that metatable to the animal table points Lua towards the methods that animal contains. Now that we know how to make classes, the next natural step is extending or inheriting from those classes, and this really doesn't take much effort at all. First of all, I'm going to get rid of the cat stuff down here, just to make it more simple. And I've also added some comments to each of the parts of the script to make it a little bit more obvious what each part does. And I also fixed a typo here with set metatable. It's actually all lowercase, and I did miss some dots down here, so just wanted to clear that up, make sure. It's not come from nowhere, but it's all fixed now, so we can carry on. So first of all, let's create our subclass dog. Same way we did it before, local dog equals the empty table, and then we're going to set the dunder index of dog to dog, for the reasons explained earlier. Now the way we can essentially extend the animal class with our dog class is by setting the metatable of our dog class to the animal class. So that's done with the set metatable function, and the dog is the table and animal is the metatable for the behavior. If you recall how metatables work, if there's a method that is not found in the instance of our dog table, Roblox will then check the animal table, resulting in a behavior that's exactly like inheritance. Of course, now we need a constructor for our dog subclass too. So exactly the same way, function dog.new. And we only need a name for this one because we know what sound a dog makes. It's woof. So self at this point isn't going to be an empty table because our self is actually a type of animal. So our self is going to be a new animal which contains the attributes that a dog has. So it would be equals animal.new name and then the sound a dog makes, which is woof. So we've essentially just created a new table inside our dog table. And then once again, we need to set the metatable of this self to the dog's behavior to make sure that it works. So set metatable self dog. This is basically just like a contained version of what we did up here, but just like one step inwards almost. And then obviously return self like that. So as you would expect, overriding a method is just as simple as redefining the method. So if I want to override speak from earlier, I'll just define a new function and it'll be dog speak. And because it has the same name, it will override the animal speak method. Now obviously we do need to call the method of the parent class here, or it might be known as a super method. So we just pass self into the animal speak method. So we just do animal.speak self. We don't use the colon here because we are passing a reference to our dog table, not the animal table. So we can't use a colon because self would be the wrong table in this case. So we're passing self into animal.speak, which means it'll run the speak method on our dog table instead of the animal table. And then obviously we can do whatever we want to do the behavior added on, as we are overriding this method after all. So I'm just going to print and wags its tail. So how it would work is we run speak, and it first goes into here, and it says, oh, we're going to call the superclass function for speak. So it goes up to here. Oh, self.name says self.sound. And it does that, and then once it's done that, then it prints and wags its tail. So that's an overrided function. Finally, you probably want to know about how you can add static methods and static or class level data. For static methods, I actually added it up here before without telling you guys. You literally just add a new method to your table, but use a dot instead of a colon. There's no self here, which means there's no instance data accessible. If we quickly just create a new dog table, you could be tempted to potentially call the static function getKingdom on this dog. So I could do dog.getKingdom, and actually that would work because index would first realize that the dog table itself doesn't have the getKingdom method, and then it'll pass up into animal, which does have the getKingdom method. But it doesn't really make much sense. It's much more conventional to call a static method on the class itself. I mean, why wouldn't you? So instead you would do animal.getKingdom, and it has the exact same result, but the intention is a lot more clear. In a similar fashion, if you want class level data, you can literally just set an attribute directly to the class outside the constructor. So I can just go in here and just set animal.kingdom equals, and now that will be accessible from anywhere in the script just by doing animal.kingdom, obviously. But you've got to keep in mind, unlike a regular OOP static variable, setting this value on an instance of your animal table will not update the value for all instances, just that one. Or the equivalent of saying that dunder index only works for reading, not writing. And that's pretty much it. You now have all of the basics you need to get started using metatables, just like you would a class in any other OOP language. If this helps, feel free to like, and let me know if there's another topic you would like me to cover in a similar way. Thanks for watching.